Hello, Leos, my dear pussycats. Welcome to your reading, Leos. We're going to get into it today with the Good Tarot, the Starseed Oracle deck, and the Fortune Cookie Oracle deck. And we're going to ask who you are, who you really are, who you really are. We're going to ask who you really are, how others perceive you, what others get wrong about you, how this affects you in relationships and situations that you find yourself in. Okay, Leo, pussycats, pussycats. You are the Six of Water. Oh, I hope you don't have a tummy ache. Oh, I think we get like tummy ache energy out of that. Maybe some of you have a little bit of tummy ache, or maybe there could also be something, I don't know, you could have an abdominal thing. Like, I'm not diagnosing anything. I'm just like, I'm picking up on what you already know of yourself. Like, this person's feeling something. So I don't know. You could have a sensitive digestive system. There could be something off about your gut flora. I don't know. But outside of that, you are something from someone's past. The reflection is so strange, though. The reflection well, maybe it's not strange. The reflection in the water is of like a little girl, and she's praying. Like, she's got her hands like this, and she's looking down praying. This, like, you see the little girl up in here in the water in the reflection. But this is an adult here. I want to say you could be very nostalgic too. There could be a lot of times where you get sort of thinking about your past or thinking about your childhood. Now, I want to say where the hands have moved. Like, the child's hands are up at the heart chakra, and then the adult's hands are down, I would say, kind of like more in diaphragm, sort of like the third chakra. So I feel like you're also connecting to some degree here with like your own inner child. And that inner child is feeding like your confidence. It's feeding your drive and your sense of self right now. So your inner child is reflecting something back to you at this time. And by doing that, it's sort of like giving nutrients or awakening that part of you that was your inner internal drive that maybe got lost along the way. How others perceive you. Interesting. King of Water. King of Water. So there's a lot of water going on right now. I'm wondering if you're involved in something sort of nostalgic, or if it could be something to do, like even sort of like reunion energy, like getting together with a family. It's very strong. So people perceive you as someone who has a lot of deep feelings and emotions here. You keep a lot under the surface. You might feel like it's exposed. I don't know. That's the thing that's very interesting. Like, people don't perceive what really is going on in there. I mean, there's a lot going on. And this is very telling. Like, her body language looks sort of wounded, and there's a lot going on in the body language. Where here, it's just almost as if people think, if there are difficulties going on in your life and there's a lot of emotional turmoil that might be connected to that, they don't really perceive the way it affects you. Okay? They kind of perceive you as someone who's got it all together here emotionally, and maybe you're not rattled by much emotionally. Your emotions are not they're not on the surface. Like, people may also like see that you're hiding something. Like, what is it? What are these emotions that you hide? Okay, what people get wrong about you? The King of Air. Well, that's very interesting. A coldness. I think there's some people here think that you could be a bit cold. But I feel like it's more connected to, maybe you have a natural instinct here to keep your feelings hidden, so that people don't know, the way that it is that you really truly feel. People may also have a perception or an idea about you that almost seems unchangeable. Like it almost seems unchangeable, this perception or idea about you. I don't know why. I'm like, get this weirdest thing coming in my head. I'm looking, okay, I don't know. I feel like this is a message for somebody. I gotta say it. So I'm looking at him and he's suddenly reminding me of a man that I knew as a child who lived behind us. The nicest man, I'm telling you. Him and his wife, the kindest of souls, honestly really were. He was, now it's, to describe this, I don't know why it is. Is there something about this man's complexion or his beard? This is a message that's not going to be for everybody, but there's this, the man was, he was mixed race. I think his dad was black and his mom was white or whatever, but, he had really interesting hair. He had like this, it was sort of like an orangey, no, a reddish brown, like it wasn't black, and you know, slightly tanned, but I mean, his features seemed more Caucasian, but anyways, there's something about, like, I'm seeing this in this card. I'm seeing this man in this card. I don't know why. And then it caused me to look at this and then run through the deck in my head. And I said, why is everybody in the deck white? Like, what? Like, everybody, yeah, everybody in this deck is white, right? Like, that's kind of weird, no? I mean, so many of the decks are very multicultural. But anyways, I don't know why that's coming through. It's coming through and it's coming through for a reason. So I don't know if this is somebody here. People maybe think that you aren't mixed race. Like, people might think that you are one race or the other, but you might be mixed here. So there's a perception here. It's almost like people have an idea or an ideal about you that is incorrect. Yeah. Actually, a sad story. I'll tell you the end of the reading. His story, yeah, he was a very, very kind man, and his kindness almost to some degree was his yeah. But anyways, people have a perception of you that feels like very like solid in their mind. I know a lot of thoughts that people have about you are incorrect, which is really funny. That, yeah, this man's beard reminds me of, his name was Vince, the man from, it's okay to say it, I mean, that was a long time ago, 40 odd years ago. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of that. That's interesting. How this affects you in relationships. Empress. Well then. Okay. That's really bountiful. I don't know. In whatever way people are misperceiving you, or there's not a complete misperception about you, because it's still water and there's water here. You're showing up in water, right? You could be showing up as someone significant from another person's past as well. How this affects you, it actually affects you really well. I don't know why or how, but this is a positive effect. The whole thing's upright. It's been like that lately. 9 of Air, temptation. Wow. It's like having a lot of anxious thoughts about something that tempts you, holding back. Who you really are. Sorry, I'm just thinking about that couple. I don't know why. I hope everything is okay with her, but she would be older now. Maybe she's passed. Don't know. I have to ask my mom. She's still in contact. Because she was, yeah, I don't know. Who you really are. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Oh my God. Isn't it interesting? It's like in this reflection here, it is like the child of her in there. I feel like you have a very, very prominent inner child. I think a lot of fire signs, their inner child is probably kind of like all out there a little bit. So that's not unusual. But I feel like there's a tenderness and an innocence. It's funny. I was thinking, why did I say I haven't used the word tenderness? It's right here. It's on the card. It's almost like I read it and it didn't go, I didn't consciously wasn't aware that I read it, but then it came back to me. That's almost like a bit of like your intuition too, right? Like where you pick up cues in your environment, but you may not be consciously aware what they are, but they're still affecting what you're thinking about and saying. So there is a very tender, innocent aspect to you, your inner child. There's, I think there's a gift here. There's another weird thing that's coming through with this. It's reminding me a little bit like of the movie Alien. It's like, this thing trying to come out. I feel like that there's some type of a gift, like a gift that you have. Either it's trying to come out here through your inner child, which means it's likely going to come out when you are being playful. You're not being expectant. You're not expecting, you know, certain things to happen, or you're open to experience and possibilities. I feel like there might be a gift here that you have that's trying to kind of come out of you right now. Somebody might associate you with a child or a childhood memory as well. How others perceive you. You have this King of Water, messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. People perceive, okay, the way that you talk, how you talk to people, it really, like, you feel like you are an emotional rock. That's what it really, that's how people perceive you. Like an emotional rock. I also feel like, let's say you're having a conversation with someone and the conversation is about a topic where there would be a lot of emotions associated with it. You don't, you know, it's almost as if the people that I'm connecting to here know enough about you that they would know that, yeah, Leo would have a lot of feelings about this, or Leo would feel very strongly about this, but you don't show it. You're like, you know, if there was some type of problem going on, and you could easily get caught up in your emotions, and the emotional part of you could kind of paralyze you into taking some type of action. You're not that person. That is at least not how you're viewed here. Yeah, they're actually really coming through as someone who has a lot of control over their feelings and their emotions, which is showing up to me like someone who, so I'm not starting to understand more why you have this Empress energy. So, you know, like I'm the kind of person I can freeze. I can freeze sometimes, or I don't know, or I could feel overwhelmed by my feelings. I don't know. I've never really been in an emergency. Well, no, I was. That's when I was younger. It was a bit of an emergency. I had to evacuate a building that was on fire. I was like, I'm fucking out of here, man. All the old people, like, I'm going. I didn't totally do a George Costanza. Close. But, you know, in all honesty, too, I had been in deep sleep. And then I was woken up and the alarms were going off in the middle of the night. I was like, oh my God, this is real. And the fire department was pounding on the door. I was like, oh, fuck, it's real. And then you could smell the smoke. And then going down, I was on the top floor. So, you know, think about being on the top floor in any building. If there's a fire and it's not on your floor, you got to walk towards the fire, you know, first. So that's kind of what was happening. And then it was going down. And see, everything seemed cool until, like, we're going down the stairwell and the door opened off of, I can't remember if it was the floor where the fire was. At this point, we didn't even know where it was. Didn't even know where it was until later. But the door opened, and I'm telling you, I could not see into that hallway more than a foot. And all I saw was people crawling out into the stairwell that I was going. I was like, oh my God, this shit is real. It's like I was moving. I was like, no, I'm too young to die in this building. That was scary. That was really scary. Because at first it just kind of seemed like, yeah, the fire alarms go off. And you're like, I cannot see in that hallway and people are crawling. You know, a real hero probably would have George Costanza. I'm out of here. Anyways, you're not that person. I feel like you're not that person. You'd be like, oh, these people need help. I will be solid. I will be strong. But it's also, too, in something that you say, like the way that you communicate, the words that you say may also bring, like, emotional balance to other people. You may say things that help to kind of steady people's feelings and emotions here. It's okay. Everybody just be calm. It's going to be good. It's, yeah, okay. So that's interesting. What they get wrong about you, too. There's something about either what your beliefs are, how they perceive you. There's something very incorrect here about your perception or your beliefs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Defenselessness. Writing past wrongs and uprooting what others get wrong about you. I don't know. Maybe there's some things here that you've had to do. Like, kind of like me in the building to survive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't put my hand out. But I thought I was going to die and you were already in the smoke. So, I don't know. I know. And it's kind of cowardly, right? Like, I look back on that. I was in my early 20s. I don't know. I think I'd do better today. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that is. So, but I don't know. This is interesting what people get wrong about you. I feel, okay, there's something that comes through about you that, like, in perceptions and what people have wrong about you, that is really, like, to some degree, maybe even a little bit unapproachable. Or you feel like a rock. You feel like a rock in this reading, like in whoever or whatever group of people I'm connecting with and how they perceive you, and what they have wrong about you. Because it feels like you are this really heavy, strong rock, and maybe you are, you know, if somebody feels like, you know, I didn't do Leo right there. Maybe I should have done this, or maybe I should have said this, or maybe it's kind of like people would not think that you would forgive them, that you wouldn't be forgiving. Right? This King of Swords, the King of Swords got this mind is in this direction. That's the only direction it goes. And that's my belief system. And I'm not changing it because I need that foundation to stand on. Everything I built exists on that. So I'm not changing it. Like, that's what people have wrong about you. Yeah. Which is interesting. How this affects you in relationships. Empress. I don't know. Whatever way people have wrong about you, keep it up. Because this is great. This is an amazing energy. It just feels like there's a lot of bounty. There's a lot of nurturing in what it is that's around you and what you can build. A beautiful, like, I don't know. You shine. It's kind of like you shine in that energy. Very, very stoic and dignified. Is that like Cindy going down the stair? Like, that's real smoke. Get out of here. Okay. The cosmic. I didn't push anybody out of the way. I didn't do that. I gently went around them. Going down the stairwell. Okay. The cosmic heart. Devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Wow. That's how it affects you in relationships. Why are you really coming off here like somebody who could, you know, whatever you pray for, whatever you wish for, you could really accomplish it. Like, you really could. I also feel like there's something about how people perceive you that makes them want to kind of be part of whatever you might be growing or developing in your life. Yeah. Oh, I knew that was coming. I had that little, I had to stop the garlic anyways. I hurt my tummy. Garlic. Too much raw garlic. I don't know. So now I'm hot again. Cosmic ancestor. Seed the light by staying grounded. Downloads. Downloading. I feel like you have, obviously, the card is saying, it's not just my feeling here, it's what the card is saying, that you have cosmic ancestors here that are helping to guide you, that you are tapped into. You've been tapped into them for a while. You're bringing the light. You're creating realities for yourself here. And no, I'm hot. I'm down in the basement. It's 17 degrees down here. I'm like, hot. Can you imagine? It's 17 degrees in the room that I am in right now because the air's been on the rest of the house. And I'm hot. If I could find a way to tap and harness this energy into something and hold it, I could probably heat my house in the winter. Wouldn't that be amazing? Why hasn't science figured that out? Like, all these women that are getting hot at midlife. Just like, yeah, like, can we, like, save that energy? Okay. Who you really are. tough and trying times and signs. You're such a toughie. Tough and trying times. Tough times ahead. Think long term and make decisions accordingly. Avoid negative people at all costs. Signs. Your future positive direction will reveal itself. Any doubts and confusions will soon disappear. See, I feel like there's a big part of you that is just so human. It's really honestly like just so human. But you almost seem like, I don't know if superhuman is an exaggeration to how some people kind of perceive you here. Like there really is. But also there's a slight, it's weird because I get this inapproachable, like would Leo forgive me if I did them wrong? And I don't know. I really do feel like you're the kind of person, right, who is tapping into your inner child here, and that inner child is also helping you to navigate out of any difficult times that you find yourself in. And if you're not doing that, I would suggest it. Like it really is, because it's there. It's really there. And any confusion or doubts that you have about your future will disappear from your inner child. You're just like, yeah, don't worry about the future. How others actually perceive you. King of Water, Messenger. Society. Say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities and new love interests for singles will be the result. Wow, people perceive you as having, I don't know, they see your value. They really do. I'm really tapping into like some nice positive energy here for you, Leo. A lot of times these misperceptions and wrongs can be, you know, they can be harsh, or people can be thinking, oh, I could take advantage of Leo, or I could do, you know, whatever. This one is kind of nice. This one is, people perceive you as the opportunities that you have socially, right? The opportunities that present themselves to you and the opportunities that you're likely to have are because you are a very emotionally mature person. This comes through in how you talk to people. When you're talking to people, people feel comfortable around you with harmony and balance. What others get wrong about you. King of Air, I'm sorry. So curious. Love. Love is in the air. A great time for commitment is taking relationships to the next level. This is such a funny reading. I feel like whoever gets stuff wrong about you is not the same person who perceives you. No. This is, I don't know, you're very, it looks like to me that you're a very forgiving person. You can be a very forgiving person, but maybe that is not realized or understood. I don't know. There really is a part of you here that seems overly stoic. I don't know who that specifically is. Like it could even be just one person here. Maybe it's your own kids or something. It's like, oh, I'm not going to tell mom or dad that one. I don't know. I think you have a lot of love to give. People perceive you as having, maybe also too being closed off emotionally to certain people in certain groups. How does this affect you in relationships? I mean, devotion, Empress. Making your life a moving prayer. It's just beautiful energy. Major life change. Time is right for major life changes, as a new lifestyle or location brings great joy and a trouble-free existence. I don't know how, again, however, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, because how this affects you so good. It's so good. This is so awesome. There's a potency deep within you that is perhaps like part of this inner child that is coming through here, that is leading you and guiding you, asking you to trust. I do feel that there's going to be a change here for you, and it's going to be quite a positive, beneficial change. There's likely a lifestyle or location change in this, right? And I want to say that feels very positive. Like a trouble-free existence? Who the fuck has a trouble-free existence? And it's the Empress too. Like, it's like the only thing you have to worry about is, you know, loving the things around you, being loved in return. Oh, you have achievement burnout at the bottom. Wow. Enjoy the limelight, you've earned it. Although on the family front, someone's health could cause some secret worries and sleepless nights. This is underlined, so, you know, it could be anything. It could even be, I don't know, it could honestly be anything. Burnout. Your hard work will see results, but your health needs to be maintained. So check in with your doctor, dentist, and health professional and try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Okay. I feel like there's some sort of health concern here, and it was associated with burnout. That's in the past. So getting things in order, looking after yourself. Maybe you've just been working really, really hard, and you're going to be getting rewarded. It's nice. Oh, I'm going to tell you about my story. I'm going to go to the extended for anyone who doesn't want to hear my story. In the extended, I'm going to ask who the other is. Whoever the other is, will let spirit decide that. And I'm going to use the same cards and ask the questions, who they really are, how you perceive them, what you get wrong about them, and how this affects this person in this situation or relationship with you. Yeah. Oh, and down in the description, there's 2 options for the extended if you would like to follow me there. So this couple, I want to talk. I don't know. He's come through. Maybe I don't know why he's come through. I'm wondering if his wife. What the heck? How can I remember his name? Because he was always. Anyways, she was such a sweet. What was her? I can't. I don't know. I feel so bad that I can't remember his wife's name. They didn't have any kids. Anyways, he had a number of different jobs in his life, and he they also loved to go, him and his wife, they loved to go camping, but they had like a really nice, like decent sized little motorhome, and they would go and they would do that sort of stuff. Oh, and then they had like a fancy van thing, you know, like those fancy vans for smaller trips, where I think there's even like a bed that pulls out or something that has, it's like a fancy van, and it has like one of those raised, anyways, I always remembered that. They had a really fancy one with, I can't remember what she did, but anyways, the saddest thing, so he was working in, this is the kind of person who has like a really kind heart. He really did. He was such a kind man. Why was he working? I can't remember why. He was working in one of the prisons here in Ontario. And I don't remember what it was. Like, what he went in and did, he really shouldn't have done. It wasn't his job. Like, I think his job was something more clerical or something like that. But anyways, he was getting really upset at some of the conditions of some of the inmates' cells. They weren't being cleaned very often, and when they were cleaned, they were horrible. And he's just kind of he was one of those people that when something wasn't right, he needed to do something about it. He wasn't going to be that person to just sit back and let an injustice occur. Anyways, he went in there and he took it upon himself to clean some of these cells because he was so upset at the conditions that some of these inmates were living in. He got so sick. The doctors, they're sure that it's something that he must have breathed in when he was doing that. And, right, he didn't have a mask on right there. This is back in this, he got, when did, where was I think that was in the early to mid 1990s. So early to mid 1990s. And at the time, like, he would have been probably in his early 50s. Yeah, his wife might be passed now. But anyways, he got so sick and the doctors couldn't cure it. I don't even know I can't remember what he ended up. It was a lung issue, and it just like that. Like, it just developed out of the blue, and the timing of it when he had gone into these cells and done that, his wife was, of course, kind of like upset, but she knew, like, there's nothing you could do to stop Vince from stepping up and doing what he felt was the right thing when, you know, an injustice was being done to people. Like, to him, regardless of what any crime that any of those people may or may not have committed. He felt that they still deserved to be treated like people. And, yeah. But it was so sad. And they were so close, the two of them. And like I said, they didn't have any kids. And when he passed away, it was so hard on her. It was so hard on her. She had to go on a medication because she just couldn't deal with the grief. To have lost him, it was really hard. It was such a sad story. I should ask, I don't know why they're coming into the reading. But anyway, sometimes, hero stories need to be told. And so that was, and I feel so bad that I can't remember his wife's name, because she was just the sweetest couple you could have ever met, and really like that kind of person. This is not right. They're living in squalor. And he got in there and he cleaned it, and it made him sick. Anyways, that's the story. That's all I have for you, Leos. Thank you so much, pussycats. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.